So recently, I bought the Mega Man X Anniversary Collection after being reminded of the series from my childhood after going on a nostalgia trip of older video games on YouTube. And only playing part of the original Mega Man games and a fair bit of X4 when I was like 10 with my older brother really made me want to go back and play through them fully. Well, 1 through 4 at least, because I'm too broke to pay for the other one. So far, I've only beaten X1 and dabbled in X4 a little bit just to see what they were like again, and either I was a pro when I was little, or I'm just complete trash at these types of games now because man, at the first level of X1, I couldn't even beat Chill Penguins for quite a while. So, if you haven't had any experience with these types of games, good luck man, because I did bad. Anyways, after beating X1, I wanted to make a video just talking about my experience with the game and how I feel about the Mega Man franchise as a whole, because I feel like it's honestly forgotten compared to a lot of older video game mascots that everyone knows and recognizes. Starting with Mega Man X, which is a great game, or at least everyone I've ever heard talk about it says so I'll give my opinion on it first, seeing as I've never really played it before, and only hearing how amazing it is, I was excited to start it up. Also, spoilers, I guess, for a 20-plus-year-old game if you care about that stuff. Seeing as it's the first thing you're greeted with, the music is awesome, and I mean there's really no gripe with any track in this whole game. It's just so full of amazing synthesized jams. My personal favorite being the song that plays during the Spark Mandrill stage. It's just, I love it so much. Like, listen to this. Amazing, I know. No need to thank me. It speaks for itself. The game starts off on this relatively quick beginner level that I happened to die a couple of times on my first playthrough because I was rusty from all the years of not playing. That's why. It helps you understand the mechanics of the game pretty fast, and all around a solid opener with a cool boss that sets up things to come as you're defeated and there's nothing you can really do at all. And of course, meeting Zero for the first time. Even to this day, I mean, who can deny how cool that guy is? Also, speaking of Zero, there's a thing that happens later in the game that'll leave you going,
Ah! No, this isn't happening! There's no reason for me to go on. What? What am I fighting for?
and what are we fighting for exactly? Because the story, it's laughably corny. It's not explained very much in the beginning. Just know that there's a good robot, you and Zero are the good robots, and there's bad robots. Sigma, all the bosses, and the guy that just beat you down. His name is Vile, by the way. But the plot being corny shouldn't drive you away at all. If anything, it enhances the game. You'll either love it for being so corny or you'll laugh at it, which will make you enjoy the game even more, which was me. It was great. I loved reading all the dialogue. After the beginning level, it throws you into 8 selectable bosses you can choose to go after. And if you've never played a Mega Man game before, just know that if you're at all doubtful about your skills at this game off that first level, do not pick at random the levels to start, because you can get stuck and frustrated on any select boss that was meant to be played later in the game. Out of all the bosses, just start with Chill Penguin. From there you have a bit more freedom to choose where to go. On my playthrough, when I finished the last boss, I looked up the correct order to play, and I had found out that I had done it almost completely backwards, and it's really fun that you have a bit of diversity with each playthrough. Just know that starting off with Chill Penguin is the best option to do. But if you are in fact struggling with the bosses after Chill Penguin and don't know where to go, just look up a guide. It won't ruin the experience too much, but it is fun to just randomly pick and choose which one to do next, not knowing how hard they are. Outside of the 8 bosses and weapons you get for defeating them, there's also collectibles you get in each area, like these hearts you can find that increase your max health. There's also armor pieces you can collect that give you new abilities. They're hard to find except the boots that you get in the Chill Penguin stage that allow you to boost, which is a key mechanic in the game. They're all really useful for gameplay, and by the end of the game you should have collected almost all of them. Well, you'll miss some, and you'll probably use a guide for those, and that's completely fine. And if you collect all collectibles, there's a secret Easter egg you can get that's very, very useful. After going through all the levels, bosses, collecting all the collectibles, power-ups, even the Easter egg, and beating the game, I was trying to see why so many people said this game was one of the best ever made. What made this game so great? Within its franchise, compared to the original Mega Man, the X series has a lot more cool factor, and just seeing your progression and getting stronger like we were told in the first level, how strong we could get, it's a really cool feeling. The X series has a lot more depth than the original Mega Man does, and it really shows. It just feels a lot cooler to go through the stages, find collectibles, get stronger, and be rewarded for searching and finding new things. But when you go outside of its own franchise, I was trying to think what made this game specifically so special. And the thing that I found I enjoyed the most was the Eureka moment. The yes, I got this. Yes, this is how I did it. That feeling of progression is so good, and it feels so amazing. You get stronger, not really because of the weapons, not really because of the armor and collectibles. It is, but it's just that feeling of learning the boss's patterns, learning everything about the game, finding things that really does make you stronger. And it's the experience, getting beat down and just coming right back, learning from it and winning. It's like a lot of older video games are, and I haven't had that experience in a long time. I loved it so much. Finding a weakness or getting an armor piece is satisfying, not because it makes things easier, but it's the feeling of finally beating down something that felt impossible because you found it and you learned its moves and everything else leading up to it. I don't get that same feeling from a Mario game or a Sonic game because there's something more close to X, as if you're growing with him and you're learning how to beat everything in your way, in almost any order you want. As much as I got frustrated from dying and felt cheated, I knew it was me being new or flat out bad at some parts of the game, and there was ways around things. And as the game went on, I realized how easy everything was, and there's this click in your head about how it all works. My personal favorite part of the game was the second Vile fight, and seeing Zero, the guy who was hyped up to be so strong in the beginning, be defeated, and us getting revenge was really the best feeling. Although, we had to say goodbye to our pal, for this game at least. Hopefully, if you play the game too, you would experience it yourself. I really enjoyed playing through Mega Man X a ton, and I can't wait to play 2, 3, 4, and maybe 5 through 8, but we'll see about that. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. It took a little while to make because it was my first commentary, but I'll be back in like 2 to 3 months when I finish X4. But now, it's time to say goodbye to Mega Man X.
Ah! No, this isn't happening. There's no reason for me to go on. What? What am I fighting for?
Bon voyage.
Mais c'est incroyable!